starting to talk through my teeth, you know, this thing. And finally, I get them in their bed, I get them in their pajamas, princess pajamas, you know, but it's pajamas, and you're going to bed, and they want me to tell them a story, you know, and because they always, it's like, Dad, tell a story. And I'm so frustrated, I'm so mad. So the story was, 2 little girls went to sleep, the end. And then I, you know, we pray, because we always pray before they go to sleep, no matter how, you know, late or frustrated. It's like, we got to say our prayers. But this particular night, because I know about my little girls, probably like some of you and your children, they become these little prayer warriors at bedtime, because they know you're not going to interrupt the prayer, because you don't want to be struck by lightning. So you want to go do that. So they start praying for the whole world, you know, because they don't want to go to sleep. So they're going to pray. And so this particular night, I said, tonight, immediate family only in your prayers. Go fast, go. So you get the picture. It was not a real sweet, wonderful, peaceful night. And by the time I finally left the room, yeah, I said something like, I love you, I mean it, good night. I slammed the door, stomping down the stairs, because I'm just mad now. And I'm like, why can't they understand? Why does it just have to be like this? Can't they just go to bed and just be quicker? And now I gotta work and get spiritual and write songs about how God loves people. Not good. And so I sat down to start writing, you know, finishing my songs. I'm looking through all the work I need to do. And I started to think about Emily, my oldest daughter. And at this time, Emily is in college. And I'm thinking, you know, literally, I blinked my eyes, and she is grown, and she's in college. And I used to tuck her in, I used to tell her bedtime stories, you know, bath time, all those sweet memories that I have. And I'm thinking, that's all gone. Never again will I tuck my daughter in on a regular basis, and bath time is definitely out of the question. Forever and ever. And I'm thinking, I just blew it. I just had this moment to make a memory with my little girls, and I just rushed through it, and I was frustrated, and I was irritated, and it didn't go any quicker because I was frustrated. I was just frustrated, and I just missed any sweetness of this moment. And so I started to feel really terrible, and I realized, you know what, I know me, and I'm just an enormous knucklehead. I will blow it again tomorrow, you know, 2 nights from now. I'll be doing the same thing, even though it's so clear to me right now how I don't want to live this way. So I did what I often do. I wrote a song, and in about an hour's time, which is unusual because it takes a long time and I work on it forever, but this one just came pretty quickly because I was just pouring my heart out, saying, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. God help me, slow me down. And so I wrote a song called Cinderella that night, and immediately, my little girls, it was like the greatest song ever written, because it was inspired by them, but mostly because it had the name Cinderella in it. So it was so, they loved it so much, and we would dance around to it and everything. And so you can understand why on May 21st, 2008, I was pretty sure I was never going to sing this song again. I thought even if I could get through it, as impossible as that seemed to me to be in the days that followed Maria being in heaven, I literally told my wife one night, I said, you know, even if I ever stand on stage and sing again, I won't be able to sing that song because it'll just be too hard. It'll just be too painful. Well, July the 11th, a couple of months after Maria went to heaven, I was standing on stage singing, doing just kind of what I'm doing tonight. And it wasn't easy, and I was struggling through, but I was just like driving a stake in the ground. Every song I was saying, God, you are God and I am not. I sang, blessed be the name of the Lord. You give, you take away, but I will choose to bless your name. I trust you. And I was just, you know, just proclaiming it. I was just declaring it that night for the first time since Maria had gone to heaven. And as I was doing that, something really began to occur to me. And I began to think about all the songs I've ever sung and all the things I've ever said from stage all these years that I've been doing this. And even before that, just what I have said is true. What I have said, I believe as a follower of Jesus. And I began to think, God, if it's really all true, and my band and I read it before we came out tonight about the resurrection from the dead, and that Jesus, when he left, he said, I'm going to prepare a place for you, and I'm coming back to get you. And to be absent from this body is to be with me. And it says, and we will be with the Lord forever. And I'm thinking, God, if this is all true, this is the gospel. This is the truth. And if it is true, then I will see my little girl again. I will dance with my little girl again, with my Cinderella. And this is, if it's not true, I need to stop doing this. I need to just pack it up and never stand on stage again. But if it is true, and it is the ultimate truth. It's not a fairy tale, it's not wishful thinking, it's not crossing our fingers. Gosh, I hope this part's true. Because if this part's not true, none of it is. If Jesus didn't conquer death and the grave, then none of this matters. But if he did, and he did, then it all matters. And it all matters because that day is coming when he will make everything new, when he will wipe every tear from our eyes. It's that day and it's this day. Those are the only 2 days that matter. And that night, standing in front of an audience, I began to realize that again. And I began to realize that because that day is coming, this day, I can live today with whatever pain, with whatever difficulty, if I'll keep my eyes fixed on the day that's coming and the one who has promised to make everything right and to make everything new. And I can bring that hope into this moment, into whatever it is that I'm carrying, whatever it is that I'm facing this life. And that's true for you, that's true for us. That's why we are people of faith. My son Caleb said it when we were interviewing